Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you did exactly what you knew you had to do? Without excuses. Without negotiation. Without reaching for the comfort of your phone like an addict looking for a fix. You have a vision in your head of a person you want to be. Disciplined, powerful, unshakable. But most days, you feel like you're dragging a corpse through the mud, the corpse of your own potential. Let's be brutally honest. Laziness is not rest. It is not a cute quirk. It is a spiritual disease. It is the slow self-destruction of a person at war with their own will. It is the rust that eats at the very structure of your life. This video is for those who are ready to put an end to the weak, comfortable, procrastinating version of themselves, to bury it and to rise from its ashes, forged into someone new. The great philosophers, from the Stoics of Rome to the Taoist sages of China, knew that discipline wasn't a gift. It was a technology, a set of principles to forge an unbreakable will. Today, we are unearthing 7 of these timeless habits that will destroy your laziness and rebuild you into something sharper, stronger, and more aligned with your true potential. Habit 1. The law of constant motion. Daily improvement. The first law of physics is that a body in motion stays in motion. The first law of the spirit is the same. Stagnation is a form of death. Every single day, you either build upon yourself or you decay. There is no standing still. Laziness thrives in the absence of moment-to-moment action. But this doesn't mean you must overhaul your life overnight. That grand ambition is often just another trick your lazy mind uses to overwhelm you into doing nothing. The path of discipline is more subtle and far more relentless. It is the path of the single daily act. One more push-up than yesterday. Reading one page of a difficult book. Taking a 30-second cold shower. One small act that tells the universe, I am not finished. I am still becoming. Think of a software developer, Leo. His goal is to become a top-tier AI engineer, but the goal is so massive, he feels paralyzed. Instead of trying to build a huge project, he commits to the law of constant motion. Every morning, for just 30 minutes, he does the work. He learns one new algorithm. He refactors one ugly piece of code. It's not glamorous. It's a quiet, lonely war against his own inertia. But day after day, the momentum builds. A year later, it is not one big action that lands him his dream job. It is the 365 small, consistent acts of moving forward. The Greek philosopher Aristotle taught this very principle. He said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Forget the fantasy of a sudden transformation. Focus only on the daily habit of taking one small step forward. Habit 2. The architect's blueprint. Tactical groundwork. A great architect never shows up to a construction site hoping for the best. The design is finalized long before the first shovel hits the dirt. A lazy person wakes up and lets the day happen to them. The disciplined mind is the architect of its day. Your greatest enemy is your own mind in the morning. It is weak, it craves comfort, and it is a master negotiator. It will convince you that your mission can wait. You must treat it as an unreliable partner. Every evening, you draw the blueprint for tomorrow. Before you go to bed, you lay out the traps for your own weakness. Write down your 3 most critical, non-negotiable tasks. Be specific. Not work out, but complete 3 sets of 15 push-ups. Lay out your gym clothes. Fill your water bottle. Make the path to victory the path of least resistance. Clara wants to start a fitness routine, but for months has been defeated by her snooze button. She decides to become the architect of her morning. The night before, she lays her running shoes by the door. She puts her workout clothes on the chair next to her bed. She even puts her coffee maker on a timer. When her alarm goes off, her tired morning mind doesn't have to make a single decision. The blueprint is already there. All it has to do is execute. She has architected her own success. The Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca advised this very practice, saying, "Let all your efforts be directed to something. Let it keep that end in view." Your nightly blueprint is your end in view. You are setting the terms for your day before it has a chance to set its terms for you. Habit 3. The wisdom of I don't know, the beginner's mind. Laziness often hides behind a mask of arrogance. I already know this. This is boring. This won't help me. This mindset is a cage. The person who thinks they know everything can learn nothing. The cup that is full can no longer be filled. The disciplined mind, a wise mind, approaches the world with humility. It assumes every book, every conversation, every failure contains a secret meant only for it. It is an empty cup, always ready to receive. An experienced business consultant, Robert, finds his client list shrinking. He's become lazy, relying on old methods, convinced he knows the right way. He forces himself to embrace his own ignorance. He signs up for a basic online marketing webinar taught by someone half his age. His ego screams in protest, but he silences it. He opens a notebook and approaches the lesson as if he is a total beginner. And in that webinar, he hears one single idea about social media funnels that he had previously dismissed as a fad. That one idea, received with the wisdom of I don't know, completely revitalizes his entire business model. This is the cornerstone of Western philosophy from the great Socrates, who famously declared, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." Kill the expert in your head. The expert is lazy and stagnant. The beginner is curious, humble, and always growing. Habit 4. The urgency of the present. Focus on today. Laziness lives and breeds in the fertile soil of tomorrow. I'll start Monday. Next month will be different. I'll do it when I feel motivated. These are all lies you tell yourself to make the poison of inaction feel sweet. The Stoics had a powerful antidote to this poison. Memento mori. Remember, you must die. It is not a morbid obsession with death. It is a profound tool for radical focus on life. The finite nature of your time is the one thing that gives it infinite value. Every morning, ask yourself the philosopher's question: what would I do today if I knew it were my last? A writer, Anna, has a brilliant idea for a novel. For 2 years, it has remained just an idea. She tells herself she's waiting for inspiration. This is a lie. She is being lazy. She starts practicing memento mori. Every morning she confronts the brutal reality that her time is not guaranteed. The answer to the question is always the same: I would write. She stops waiting for the perfect 4-hour window and finds one imperfect hour today. The fear of dying with her story still inside her has finally become greater than the comfort of procrastination. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. There is no someday. Today is the only field of action you will ever stand on. Act accordingly." Habit 5. The art of adaptation. Flow with chaos. You want everything to be perfect before you act. The perfect mood, the perfect plan. This desire for perfection is the most sophisticated form of laziness. Life is imperfect. Life is chaos. The disciplined mind does not wait for the storm to pass. It learns to dance in the rain. The ancient Taoist sages used the metaphor of water. Water is soft and yielding, yet it can overcome the hardest rock. It does not fight. It flows around obstacles. Your will must be like water. Stop saying, I can't, because, and start asking, how can I move forward despite this? Train when you're tired. Work when you're distracted. Adapt. A construction manager, Mike, is running a project with a tight deadline. A massive storm is forecast, which will halt all concrete pouring for 2 days. The lazy response is to shut down and complain. Mike adapts. He asks, how can we be like water? He can't pour concrete, but he can use those 2 down days to have his crew pre-assemble internal frameworks inside a massive tent and catch up on 2 weeks of paperwork. He flows with the obstacle, turning a delay into a strategic advantage. The Taoist classic, the Tao Te Ching, teaches, the softest things in the world overcome the hardest things in the world. Stop trying to be the immovable rock. Learn to be the unstoppable river. Choose movement over mood. Habit 6. The unflinching mirror. Radical self-awareness. Laziness thrives in the fog of self-deception. It is the quiet whisper that says, it's not that bad. The path to discipline requires a commitment to brutal, unflinching honesty with yourself. The ancient Greek imperative was simple. Know thyself. But this is not about knowing your strengths. It's about having the courage to look at your weaknesses without turning away. Once a week, practice this. Sit in a quiet room and hold up the unflinching mirror. Audit your life as if you were a stranger. Look at your physical space. Look at your bank account. Look at your phone's screen time report. Look at your body. Do not judge. Do not make excuses. Just see. Jordan feels a vague dissatisfaction with his life, but is too lazy to confront why. He decides to hold up the mirror. He sits down and looks at the raw data. 9 hours of screen time per day. $200 spent on food delivery last week. 0 workouts. He doesn't flinch. He just sees the unfiltered truth. The data is so clear, so undeniable, that it creates a profound sense of disgust. That disgust, born from unflinching awareness, becomes the catalyst that finally forces him to change. Awareness is the first step to all discipline. You cannot fix a problem you refuse to see. Habit 7. The alchemist's scars. Embrace imperfection. This is the final, most beautiful habit. The belief that you must be perfect before you can start is the ultimate shield of the lazy mind. I'll start my business when I have a better plan. I'll go to the gym when I've lost some weight. All lies, designed to protect you from the risk of failure. The alchemists of old sought to turn lead into gold. The modern alchemist turns their flaws into their strengths. They understand that our scars, our cracks, our imperfections are not a source of shame. They are proof of life. A young woman, Maria, wants to start a YouTube channel, but is terrified because she has a slight stutter. Her lazy mind tells her, wait until you've cured it. This is a life sentence of waiting. She decides to become an alchemist. She starts her channel now. In her first video, she says, "You're going to hear me stutter tonight. It's part of my story." Now, let's talk about... She takes her biggest perceived flaw and turns it into her greatest source of authenticity and power. Her lead becomes her gold. The poet Rumi wrote, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Stop waiting to be whole before you act. Start where you are with your broken pieces. Use your cracks. Turn every scar into a source of power. The truth is ugly, and you need to hear it. Laziness is a parasite, and it is eating you alive. The great thinkers didn't have time for excuses. Their lives were shaped by an eternal pressure to become more, and in that pressure, they found freedom. You will not wake up one day magically motivated. That fantasy is the leash keeping you tame. You have to be the sculptor of your own will, chipping away the soft, useless parts of yourself every single day. So stop looking for comfort. Stop waiting to feel ready. Pick one of these 7 habits and move, even if it hurts. Especially if it hurts, because the statue is carved with the chisel and the will is forged in the fire. And right now, your future self is watching you, begging you not to let him die, trapped in the uncarved stone of your comfort. Comfort will never save you, but discipline will set you free.